let's get into some things and some stuff because there's a lot going on. It could be a long show today. I'm not sure. Could be. Could not be. I don't know. We'll see. But right out of the gate, we need to talk about a New York Times piece that came out yesterday, late yesterday, I guess, and that Alex Thompson, who you may know from such things as being the co-author of that book with Jake Tapper, he is the reporter that is reporting on this, saying, as part of the New York Times piece, that Biden did not, of course, individually approve all of the pardons that he issued at the very end of his presidency. Remember, there were like 1,500,
right?
And of course he didn't. And so there's been all this committee, the congressional investigations into the use of the Autopen, and that's what this New York Times piece was about. And so rather than the main gist that Alex Thompson was reporting on is that Biden did not individually approve each name for the categorical pardons. He signed off on standards that he wanted to be used to determine which people would qualify for a reduction in sentence. But then even after he signed off on that, whenever the Bureau of Prisons would provide more information about specific people, resulting in changes to the list of people that were going to be pardoned, Biden was like removed from that process. It was just his staff that were waiting, and then they're the ones that ran the final version through the Autopen. So lots of stuff coming out about the use of the Autopen. There's still aides that are going to be investigated at these congressional hearings. So we'll hear more about that. And Reagan Reese, our former little intern right here on the Chicks on the Right show.
Reagan.
She summarized the New York Times piece saying that Biden would meet with senior aides, allegedly give them verbal permission to use the Autopen. They would then relay that information to their assistants who were not in the room, who would then email Staff Secretary Stephanie Feldman, who managed the use of the Autopen.
So she was essentially running the country.
Yeah, basically a staff secretary was deciding on major issues.
That's great. Yeah. Because I mean, like I read where Jeff Zients, who was the chief of staff, or he's the one who approved Fauci's pardon. Like there are different people who were like, I'm going to, different people. No, it's probably, is it me?
Is it me? Was it me?
No. No, it wasn't you. It's probably you guys. There's such a bad storm here this morning. Like it has been raining since July 4th here in Texas. I'm so over it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But anyways, it was that Jeff Zients or whatever it is. He approved Fauci's. There's just a lot of different people that were approving different pardons that shouldn't have been doing it.
Right.
But
exactly.
But liberals are saying, oh, it's fine. It's totally all fine. It's all fine. It's not fine to me. It's
not fine. And there's a guy by the name of Hans Monkey. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but he was absolutely freaking out about this in a way that I thought resonated. He said this New York Times puff piece trying to make the Autopen scandal disappear actually makes it so much worse. Biden orally approved pardons and then an unelected staffer signed off with an Autopen. Seriously? These are the same people who arrested Trump for allegedly declassifying things orally, and now we're supposed to believe oral pardons for thousands of people are totally fine.
Right.
Give me a break.
So true. Hans Monkey. So true. God, I love that name.
It's a good name.
Right.
But here's the problem. Like, even with all of this coming out, I guess for the same New York Times piece, Biden himself was interviewed. And if he is going to cover it all, if he is going to say, I made every decision, this was all fine, how will there ever be accountability? You know what I mean? I don't think there will be.
Oh, I don't think there's going to be accountability either. I mean, this is the thing. The thing that would make me the happiest at this point is to see Fauci go to jail. And he's never going to, nothing will ever happen. Nobody will be held accountable. I don't have a lot of faith in any of this at all. I just don't. No, I agree. Because he's just going to be, all he has to do is have Jill get in his ear and say, okay, honey, say that you did this.
Right.
I did it. And then that's it.
And then what can we do? There's nothing that can be done. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So it's super frustrating. And so that all of this sort of came out last night, and we wanted to get that out to you guys as quickly as possible. Right. And I'm sure there will be more to tell about it, but that is the gist for now.
You guys need to check out our link tree and all of our socials. chicksonright.com/links is where you can find all the things. And then please click subscribe. click subscribe if you haven't. Tell your friends. Do it.
Do it. Speaking of rain and your state, the Trumps visited first responders and victims' families in Hill Country. And it was really sweet. There was this moment where there was basically a line of first responders coming to greet them. And just look at the way that everybody took their hats off for Melania. I just loved it.
That's Texas right there. Texan dudes.
I just love that.
Yeah. I know people, it's very, very sweet.
It is sweet. It's very,
sweet.
Very sweet.
I mean, there are a lot of people that were saying that, they were doing it because they have a lot of respect for Melania and for Trump, obviously. But I think they would have done it for Michelle Obama too. You know what I mean? They would have done it for anybody. Because that's what Texas men do. That's what they do.
And so they had a press conference too while they were there, and Donald Trump asked Melania to say something, and of course she was classy and gracious as you would expect. Here she is.
Your words, honey.
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls. Deepest sympathy from all of us to the community, to everybody who lost a loved one. We are grieving with you. Our nation is grieving with you. We just met with the wonderful families. We pray with them. We hug. We hold hands. They share the stories. And I met beautiful young ladies. They gave me this special bracelet from the camp. In honor of all of the little girls that they lost their lives. So we are here to honor them and also to give the support, help, and I will be back. I promise to them, and I just pray for them and giving them my strength and love.
Thank you, honey. That's very nice. Thank you.
I love them.
I know.
I love
very,
them.
very sweet. And then while he was leaving, while they were leaving Texas, he got wind of some of these stories that we've been even talking about, all of these ICE attacks, people that are throwing rocks at ICE vehicles and just being destructive and violent. And he's sick and tired of it, as you might expect. And so he tweeted about it. And if you could read what he said.
I'm on my way back from Texas and watched in disbelief as thugs were violently throwing rocks and bricks at ICE officers while they were moving down a roadway in their car and or official vehicle. Tremendous damage was done to these brand new vehicles. I know for a fact that these officers are having a hard time with allowing this to happen, in that it shows such total disrespect for law and order. Therefore, I am directing Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Border Czar Tom Homan to instruct all ICE, Homeland Security, and any other law enforcement officer who is on the receiving end of throwing rocks, bricks, or any other form of assault to stop their car and arrest these slime balls using whatever means is necessary to do so. I'm giving total authorization for ICE to protect itself, just like they protect the public. I never want to see a car carrying a law enforcement officer attacked again. Authorization immediately granted for arrest and incarceration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I love it. It's fantastic.
I mean, and I hope that that is a thing. Like, I'm assuming that he can do that and that they can be arrested and they will face the full arm of the law as they should.
Just get out of the car and thump them.
Right? I mean, these people. Oh my God. They could, if a rock actually breaks through a window, they could kill people. That's why it should be treated as assault. I mean, it absolutely is.
Without question.
God, I'm so sick of these.
I'm so sick of this garbage too. They are psychopaths, aren't they?
Oh my God.
Just so over it.
I'm so over it too. But I am not over talking about Angel Studios and how everybody should become a guild member.
Yes, Angel Studios is the best, you guys. I'm constantly asking. Like this weekend, we have family in. And we were talking about movies and how movies used to be so awesome back in the day, and they're not anymore. Like, where did all the good family entertainment go? Where's the entertainment that celebrates America? And it used to be that we had that like back in the 80s and 90s. There's so much garbage entertainment out there. And now you're like reaching for your remote if you have kids in the room. You don't have to do that with stuff from Angel Studios. They have great stuff that they put out, like Sound of Hope. You guys have heard of that. It's about a small Texas community that adopted 77 foster children. Sound of Freedom. I know a lot of you guys saw Sound of Freedom. It was about child trafficking. Wonderful movie. King of Kings. That was the animated movie that was about Jesus, which is really great. And then the latest one that they have is The Last Rodeo, which is really, really good. Love that one too. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you join the Angel Studios Guild and you become a premium member, you're going to get free theater tickets, ad-free streaming, and then full access to their library. They are all about conservatism. They're completely awesome. You can go to angel.com/chicks, become a premium member of the Angel Studios Guild, get all the benefits. And that's angel.com/chicks. You can actually watch movies with your family again.
That are nice and wholesome and decent for your whole family.
Totally.
All right. We need to talk about Democrats, both at state level and national level, continue to try to go to Alligator Alcatraz to bitch about the conditions there, because I guess they're expecting, since most illegals were housed in 5-star hotels in New York City, apparently they've grown accustomed to that. And so they don't feel like the conditions at Alligator Alcatraz are suitable for the illegals. Never mind the fact that any single one of those illegals could self-deport at any time.
Totally.
But
it's a great point.
They have a problem.
And not only could they self-deport, but we would give them $1,000 when they do it.
Right?
Like, you're welcome. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, after whom I am named today, was one of the crybabies. And here she is, basically lying through her teeth, but here she is.
We saw the conditions that we saw inside this internment camp, which it is nothing less than that description, were really appalling. I'll walk you through just a few of the really egregious, disturbing, disgusting conditions. They are using cages. These detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage.
Oh my God. It's just,
yeah. Let's just remind everybody what it looked like under Biden, and she was nowhere to be found.
It looks a lot more than 32 there.
And there's no beds.
No.
They're on the ground and they're outside.
Right. There's no air conditioning. I swear. You know what it sounds like when she describes that? It sounds like a nice jail is what it sounds like.
Right.
And honestly, if you break the law, you're going to go to jail. It's like, this is what prisons are like. It sounds like a really nice, clean, air-conditioned prison. You're welcome.
I know. Welcome. What are they expecting for people who broke into our country? For crying out loud.
The 5-star hotels that we've been putting them up in until this.
God.
This is the thing. That's what they want. They want more of that. Well, tough shit. You don't get that. That's the thing.
There was a Florida state senator who was also on the same tour, and he called her out and anybody else that was trying to complain about these conditions, saying, just finished my walkthrough of Alligator Alcatraz. Here's what I saw. The rhetoric coming from Democrats does not match the reality. The place is well run, safe, secure, clean, and air conditioned. We reviewed the intake area, medical tent, mess hall, recreation areas, and sleeping quarters. Actually laid down in one of the beds and it was really comfortable. So any complaints about squalor conditions is nothing more than bullshit and political theater.
Right. And it's all better living conditions than what a lot of veterans in our country get and what a lot of homeless kids do not get. I mean, it's like, save your theatrics for somebody who cares. It's like, we're over this crap. We're sick of paying for. We are paying for this, and we're actually sick of paying for these people. So, and we're offering them $1,000 to leave on their own when we've already paid for them to be here for a certain period of time. So, if they don't like it, tough.
Yeah, bye. There's a choice here. Bye. Tom Homan made the news rounds yesterday reacting to some of these complaints, and he was on with Dana Bash, and he explained to her what's what about this facility and any other ICE detention facility. Here is Tom.
I mean, bottom line is, from the day one, I've been doing this job since 1984. Detainees complain about the conditions of detention. And I said this many times, you can simply go to ice.gov and look at the detention standards ICE has. They have the highest detention standards in the industry. But these same congressmen are complaining about Alligator Alcatraz. You didn't see them complaining about, under the Biden administration, people being held in a Border Patrol parking lot surrounded by a fence in the sweltering heat. Not a word. You didn't hear a word about 500,000 children being trafficked in the country and them not being able to locate 300,000.
Right.
President Trump, this administration is finding thousands of those children. So, they have a lot of anger under President Trump on how we're doing business, and they ignored 4 years of open borders, historic migrant death, historic Americans dying from fentanyl, historic numbers of women and children being sex trafficked, historic number of people on terrorist watch lists coming across the border. Silence. Because they're complicit, because they didn't take the administration on and ask them to secure the border. You can't have strong national security in this country if we don't have border security. We got to know who's coming and what's coming and where it's coming. But instead, they kept silent and they kept feeding the American people, we have a secure border, and we did not.
They were complicit in 300,000 to 500,000 kids being trafficked across the border. Think of how many kids that is in a stadium.
Oh my! There isn't a stadium. Yeah, you would need multiple stadiums for that.
Exactly, you would need multiple stadiums for that. Think of all those kids that have been trafficked into this country, and they didn't give a crap. Not one single crap.
Where was AOC crying at the?
I know.
Yeah,
my red lipstick
missing in action.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He is. Somebody just called Tom Homan a badass, and indeed he is. He was at the Turning Point event this past weekend speaking, and there was a heckler there who was screaming at him. I don't even know what. It doesn't matter. But he just shut that down in the best way possible. Here's just a little bit of it.
They got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't like to serve his nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser. And you're such a badass. Meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. I guarantee you, he sits down to pee.
Yes. You know he sits down to pee. I saw him on
my favorite.
on another Twitter account. There's some other dude that was like, he heckled us like a couple months ago. Like this guy that heckled him is like kind of a professional liberal heckler. God. This is what he does. And I saw him. Like he looks like what you think he'd look like without the purple hair. Like he's kind of short and squishy and pudgy. And he looks like the only tool he's ever used is a joystick. You know what I mean? That kind of guy. Yeah.
That guy.
It tracks.
It totally tracks. And I just love that Tom's just not going to take it. He's going to say all the things. It's just so great.
Big balls.
Big, giant balls of steel. Mm-hmm. There was like a TikToker or Instagram reeler or whatever, a guy on socials that I thought really made a fantastic point about how mass deportations would actually solve so many problems that this country has. Here he is to explain.
And ironically solve every single problem in society without fail and without exception. It is actually the case that if you just begin to deport people and do that at scale, society gets better with no downsides. Like from a sociological perspective, mass deportations are a magic wand that make the impossible things just appear. Whenever you deport an undocumented family, that's the equivalent of just making a home appear out of thin air. No other policy can do that. Whenever you deport an undocumented family, that's like magically expanding the roads, magically building more hospitals, magically freeing up more hospital spaces, magically making more school places appear out of thin air with no downsides. Like millennials come in here and be like, oh, I'll never own a home. Because I'll never own a home, I'll never start a family. We can make like 15 million homes appear out of thin air.
That's right.
In about a month, if we really wanted to. Like, do you think the magic deportation fairy godmother making a home literally appear in your lap, do you think that would change your life in any meaningful, tangible way? To me, that feels like a preferable reality than tomatoes being 0.2% cheaper.
He's so right. I mean,
it's a great point, right?
It is a fantastic point. He's so right. Yeah. Not to mention all the jobs and everything that are all of a sudden there.
Yeah. and then all of the things that have become necessary because of illegals, like all these translators and all the, all of these things that we have to pay for that we shouldn't have to pay for, those just go away. I mean,
money saved.
A really good point.
Lots of money saved.
Money
when you're not
saved.
Listen, when you're not paying to put these people up at 5-star hotels in New York City, you do save a lot of money. It's interesting how that works.
So weird. Very weird. I know you said it's like nonstop raining there, and we have had our share of rain as well. And we're also we're careening into hurricane season. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for hurricane season?
We can't get a break here. And hurricane season is in full swing, isn't it? It's like right there. It's supposed to be in an above normal season, they're saying, which I don't even understand what that means, because I don't live in a hurricane place, but Mock does. So I worry about her. She's going to have to come like stay with me. But whether it's natural disasters or even COVID, like another COVID, you should always be prepared and have food and water and emergency supplies on hand all the time. And ReadyWise can help you do that. They have the food, they have the supplies, they have the coolest solar power generators. You can get an extra 10% off with code CHICKS10 when you visit them. I know Mock's biggest fear is the grid going down. And there have been increased threats of like all these sleeper cells in the country. Sorry, Mock. Hope she's not listening. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys, but even with the best people in office, like all those sleeper cell reports and everything, it just highlights the need to be very prepared. Okay. So having one of those solar power generators is a fantastic thing to do. Everybody should have a 6-month emergency food supply. These are easy things to be prepared, and ReadyWise has got your back. So you can count on them. They have what?
They even have the self-heating meal kits. These are amazing.
You just add water. That's all you got to do is add water. They're fantastic. So just go to ReadyWise.com. Use code CHICKS10 for 10% off. That's ReadyWise.com. Use code CHICKS10. CHICKS10.
All right, let's talk about some good news for a moment. This was a really, really interesting and like underplayed headline from, I think, this past Friday. And that was that the Treasury posted a surplus in June. Do you know how long it's been since we have had a surplus?
How long has it been?
I think it's like 2005.
Oh my.
Something like that. Since there was a
years.
month without a huge deficit. Wow. This is amazing.
That
Absolutely
is
amazing.
Yeah.
And just look at these before and after headlines from CNBC. Back in April, the headline was tariffs will likely raise much less money than White House projects, economists say. And then fast forward to this weekend, Treasury posts unexpected surplus in June as tariff receipts surge.
Right. The economists are AOC. Yeah.
Right.
The economists, you guys.
Right. So, I mean, this is undeniably a good thing. Right. And yet Democrats continue to bitch about Trump and his policies. There's a little Scott Jennings, our friend Scott Jennings. He had a lot to say to a whole bunch of these nitpicking, downplaying, narrative spinning Democrats. Here's a little bit of what he has experienced over the last few days.
This is not the Republican Party that I grew up in, and I don't think it's ever coming back. I think it's gone. I think it's gone for good. They're in the ditch, and they just don't know it yet.
How are we in the ditch? We won the national popular vote last November. We won a crushing victory in the Electoral College. We won majorities in the House and the Senate. We just passed the big, beautiful bill. Peace is breaking out in the Middle East. Peace is breaking out on the African continent. Gas prices are lower than they've been in 4 years. Taxes are going to be low. Egg prices are down 69%. The southern border is secure. Jeff, these are things Republicans have believed in for a very long time.
But Scott, I mean, proof that that's not the case.
His attitude and his ability to get things done, his spirit, the way he fights the left, the way he fights for free speech and Western civilization, and the way he's open to coalition building and building non-traditional alliances is a key political talent.
I remember sitting at a meeting
leading up to this election, I've got Bill Kristol sitting here. I've got, former friends, conservatives from across the aisle. We were all aligned in how do we defeat Trump. It was a meeting.
How'd it work out?
You know what, Scott?
All right.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Who the heck was Fake Bake dude? Like, why was he like one of Liz Cheney's proteges or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who is that guy? He's like, this is not my Republican Party. Yeah, okay. Bye. GTFO. If you don't like it, go hang out with like Adam Crybaby. We don't need you, dude. God, what?
That was just masterful, though, man.
He was awesome, but how can you be so negative about everything that's going on? There's so much to be positive about.
Yeah, there is, but they hate that. They absolutely hate it because their only play is anti-Trumpness.
Oh my
and
God.
So they just have to keep playing. It's the only card they have. The only one.
It's crazy.
The only one. Even Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase is calling out his Democrat friends, and he was pretty brutal about it. Here's what was said.
Jamie Dimon criticizing Democrats. He said, quote, I have a lot of friends who are Democrats, and they're idiots. I always say they have big hearts and little brains. They do not understand how the real world works. Almost every single policy rolled out failed.
Yup.
That is true. Absolutely true. It's so funny when people get to be grown-ups and they're still liberal, I really worry about them.
Right?
Yeah.
They have problems.
They really do. Yeah. It's one thing to be liberal when you're in college. All right. I'll let it slide. I get it. It's like, whatever, you do you. It's like, oh, I'm in PETA and I'm saving all save the whales, Greenpeace, blah. It's like, whatever. And then when you get out, when you start paying your own bills, if that's the case, if you haven't paid your own bills and you're not a conservative yet, it's weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah. It's at some point they just miss out on the maturity gene that allows you to see the world the way it is. And they just continue to believe in these ideals that are impossible, like socialism working. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work. It's never worked. It's never going to work.
No.
Stop it. Somebody that always puts things into really, really good perspective is Batya Ungar-Sargon. And she was talking about how there are currently two different kinds of populism. There's Trump's kind, and then there's this other kind, and she defines them and characterizes them so beautifully. Just listen.
What we're really seeing here is two versions of populism. You have the president's populism, which is really built on a love of this country and the belief that work gives you dignity and work gives you freedom, and that what you have to do is improve the conditions of workers, of the working class, by limiting the supply of labor with the border and through tariffs, and then they will be able to achieve the American dream because this is the greatest country on earth. And you contrast that with Mamdani, who, like his supporters, is they're 20 to 30 somethings, they're disaffected, they're over credentialed, and basically they believe that work is undignified, humiliating, and inherently exploitative. And so they believe that we should have an open border, have a whole bunch of illegal migrants come in to do this work that is beneath them as American citizens, and the rest of the country should be on welfare. It's this new trust fund socialism that's really a kind of anti-work populism. And I think that's the really important thing to understand here, is that he's diagnosing the same problem as the president, but his answer is rooted in a fundamental dislike of America and a belief that our best days are behind us and there's nothing here worth fighting for.
I feel like he is Obama 2.0. It's way worse this time, because when you and I started Chicks on the Right, there was a lot of the sentiment from the 20-somethings. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
This is what we were like fighting against. We were like, what is going on? Everybody wants socialism. And at some point you've made enough money, and like rich people are bad and capitalism is bad. And remember like all the Occupy Wall Street and the Occupy people pooping in the street. I mean, I remember it's like they're holding their iPhones and they hate capitalism. Okay, whatever. I mean, those are the young people we were dealing with then. Now it's a whole different generation of young people this time around, but it's way worse. Because I think the past almost 20 years, almost 2 decades we've been doing this, it's the education's gotten worse. The indoctrination's gotten worse. Everything is exponentially worse than it was when we first started. And they really, truly believe that it's going to work this time. Plus, he's not only who he is, but he's anti-Semitic. You know, there's so much other stuff to stick on this guy that makes him even worse than being a democratic socialist, which is already bad enough.
Right. Right. I mean, he's awful. He's absolutely a wolf in sheep's clothing. And the people that fall for his act are the same people that fall for Gavin Newsom.
Totally.
They think they're charming and slick, and you know what I mean? People are dumb. People
and they're
dumb
late. And at the end of the day, those are the lazy people. They want a handout. They want big daddy government to take care of them. This is, I mean, it's not change. It's freaking communism. That's what it is. And it will not work because was it Thatcher that said it? Like at some point you run out of other people's money.
Right.
You're gonna run out of other people's money. And if they take this route, it will happen. It's happened in every other country.
God, businesses will leave in droves.
Totally.
New York City. I mean, it's suicidal for that city to elect him, but they probably will. I mean, he's leading in the polls, so we'll see. Also, because of the Supreme Court ruling last week, Marco Rubio took swift action at the Department of State, firing over 1,300 US-based employees. And so they had this big ceremonial walkout of all of these people crying and carrying on and getting applauded. And it was so over the top ridiculous. Here's a little video showing some of that. I mean, it's just out of control.
Oh my God. I mean, why are they crying? If you, surely you're qualified enough, you can find another job, right? In the private sector, maybe, right?
And to those that have been riffed, to those that have been fired today, I just want to say, I'm sorry. And you have deserved better than this.
No, you don't.
I think every single person, when you leave this building, you walk through out those doors for the final time, you should do it with honor and dignity. You should not do it out of humiliation and of this type of weaponization of politics. You deserve better.
God, get bent.
It's just so nauseating.
What a bunch of entitled brats. Have you ever worked in the private sector in a real job where like this stuff happens all the time?
All the time.
All the time. They're like, we got to make cuts. You're out. What exactly do you do here?
Where was the parade of people when nurses and doctors who didn't want to get vaccinated were forced out of their jobs and having to leave hospitals in droves? Where was the crying for them?
They're there. Yeah,
Gosh,
exactly.
the hypocrisy is ridiculous. And then somebody
the
else pointed out the fact that when Joe Biden shut down the Keystone Pipeline, putting 11,000 people out of work, their answer was to say, learn to code.
Right.
Remember?
I totally remember the learn to code. Learn to code.
So they can learn to code.
Yeah. Learn to do something else. I mean, obviously you're marketable, right? Do you not have any marketable skills, transferable skills? Can you not find another job? I mean, God, it's like people in the private sector have been doing this for eons. This is what happens in real companies. Get over yourself. No job is guaranteed.
I mean, they're just the crying, like of the people too that were staying. It was just all so theatrical. This is all the Democrats are. God, they're so ridiculous.
Babies.
And then let's just look at some of the numbers. Byron York actually looked into this, and he said it appears the department went from 57,000 total employees in 2007 to almost 73,000 in 2015 to 80,000 in 2024. So it grew by nearly 23,000 employees before the devastating cut of 1,300. So can we just calm down?
Looks like there needs to be more cuts.
Right? If anything, there needs to be lots
needs to be more. It needs to be probably about 18,000 more. Looks like
this is just so utterly ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. These people are so entitled. It just makes me sick.
I know, it's out of control. We need to talk about the fact that this weekend was the anniversary of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life in Butler, Pennsylvania. And so that's one of those moments, man, that everybody remembers where they were, what they were doing. That's one of those moments, right?
Right. It was.
I remember because I was watching it live, and my husband, which is so weird because we never watched rallies live at all, but we just happened to be like snacking in our family room. The TV was on and we saw it happen live. And I immediately texted our group going, "Oh my God, Trump has been shot."
Right.
and I could not believe what I was seeing.
I was at a swim meet and I didn't believe her.
Yeah, she was like, "I need to see like an actual link and not just hear it from you." And I'm like, "I'm watching it with my eyeballs."
I was like, "There's no way he was shot. There's no way." And she was like, "There's way."
There is way.
Oh my God.
So there's a lot to talk about with respect to the fact that it was the 1-year anniversary. There's people who have questions. Trump is not one of those people. But we needed to get into more of that and kind of reminisce about some of the ridiculous headlines that the mainstream media put out about the shooting when it took place. But first, you need to tell people about All Family Pharmacy.
I do, you guys. All Family. Did you guys know that there's like that methylene blue stuff? Have you heard of that methylene blue stuff people are raving about? It's RFK talked about that. I think he carried it on a plane and people are like, "What is that stuff?" It's for better focus, clearer thinking, sharper memory. It's a supplement that he talks about for like benefits for aging health and brain health, and it keeps you sharp as you age. They have it. All Family Pharmacy has that. They also have a thing called NAD Plus, which is your body's natural energy booster, and it helps with cell repair and energy and healthy, a lot of good, healthy aging stuff at All Family Pharmacy. And they make it easy for you to get this stuff. You can get everything shipped right to your door. All you got to do is visit allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks. You can use code CHICKS to get 10% off your first order. So whether it's methylene blue or that NAD Plus or like an emergency kit for your family that has all those drugs that we all wanted during COVID that a lot of people did not want us to have, or just antibiotics, just regular antibiotics, they will hook you up. So you can visit allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks, use code CHICKS and get 10% off your first order.
Is it Chicks or Chicks 10?
I'm sorry, Chicks 10. I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Okay,
it's Chicks 10. Thank you. Use code CHICKS10 to get 10% off.
Do it.
Do it.
10.
Do it.
All right. So let's just reminisce about this, shall we? Look at this CNN headline from 1 year ago today. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at a rally.
I can't. That's an actual headline.
I mean, and that's the photo that they used. He's literally bleeding from the gunshot.
I can't.
And they're like, "Oh, he fell. Got a boo-boo."
He's old. He's old, you guys. It's because he's old.
Can you believe? So there were so many. There was another from USA Today that said Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles the former president and crowd.
You think it startled him? It's like the bullet hit his head. So that would be enough to startle somebody. These people.
I mean, it's just listen, I get being cautious when you're first reporting the news, but you could say an apparent gunshot. Like you can say the obvious without, saying something that could potentially be wrong or corrected later.
Mock. If it was anybody else, any other president, they would have said that.
They would have had the word assassination immediately in their coverage.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Oh my
but
God.
Even though there's so many people, I mean, us included, who have lots and lots of questions about that Crooks guy and just the way it all went down, Trump is not one of those people. He sat down with his daughter-in-law for an interview, and one of the things that she asked him was about, what he's learned, what he's been debriefed on about the assassination attempt. And here's what he said.
So they briefed me numerous times, the FBI, the Secret Service, sort of everybody. DOJ, Pamela's doing I think she's doing a fantastic job. But they briefed me, and I'm satisfied with it. They should have had somebody in the building. That was a mistake. They should have had communications with the local police. They weren't tied in. And they should have been tied in. So there were mistakes made.
Yeah. So there's this new report, too, that Chuck Grassley put out. The GAO report commissioned. Chuck Grassley concluded senior Secret Service officials received classified intelligence regarding a threat to Trump's life 10 days before the rally, but failed to relay that information to federal and local law enforcement personnel responsible for securing and staffing the event. I mean, that is freaking crazy.
I would like to know why. Like my question would be why? Why?
Yeah. It's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Becker also has lots of questions. This is a lengthy tweet, but could you read this to everybody?
I'll do my best. It's a bad eye day. I'm doing my best. This is an outrage. It is an outrage.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Service agents knowingly exposed a president of the United States to a mortal threat that was known 10 days before the Butler shooting. Oh my God. Thomas Crooks was on the FBI's radar before Trump was shot. He was on the FBI's radar the day Trump was shot, but he disappeared from the radar as soon as he shot President Trump. What a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't know much about Thomas Crooks's motive. His 3 encrypted foreign accounts, why his social media history is missing and scrubbed, why he was frequenting a gun club known to be a DHS hangout spot, why he contacted people whose metadata history includes visits to an FBI office in Washington, D.C., why he was cremated shortly after the attack, or why the FBI's cleaners did an immaculate mop-up of the shooting spot before various independent investigators could survey the scene. Here's the most disturbing part of it all. New reports indicate not a single Secret Service agent got more than a slap on the wrist for the potentially deadly mistake that nearly ended a presidential candidate's life. If this were anybody else but Trump, heads would have rolled and we would have had answers. This is yet another cover-up that is completely unacceptable. America is not a free nation if the people cannot get basic answers about what is going on in their government. I agree 150%.
I'm just so surprised that Trump is like, it's fine. I'm satisfied with what they said. Everything's fine.
I think he is just so at peace, like with God and everything. I think he had such a spiritual epiphany during that time that he's just like, I'm here to do a job. Whatever happens, happens. I'm, onward. I honestly think that's where he is. Because, that has to change you. But
yeah, that's a good point.
It's got to change you. Like your whole outlook, your perspective, your trajectory, everything changes. If it doesn't change you, I would worry about you. But look at him. He's totally different 2.0 than he was 1.0. He was great 1.0, but he's exponentially better even as 2.0. And I think a lot of it has to do with what happened that fateful day.
That is a great point, and that I'm sure that that's true. The problem is that it still leaves so many questions, particularly for other people who suffered at that event, like Corey Comperatore's wife, who still has lots of questions. She was on a couple different news shows talking about it this past weekend. Here she is.
Do you feel like do you feel like that Congress is getting to the bottom of these questions, and do you believe that that's that more people should actually face consequences for the mistakes that happened that day?
Suspending them when my husband was killed, that's not punishment.
Right.
No.
Has anyone reached out to you at all, Helen, to try to walk you through what happened? Are you having conversations? Have you been invited to have conversations with anyone who can at least attempt to explain what went wrong?
Yes, Dan Bongino did call me. We did walk through a lot of what happened that day with Thomas Crooks, and he was very kind and left me his phone number and said I can call him anytime.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me that Dan Bongino did that. What else do you want? What else do you want from our government?
I want to sit down with the Secret Service, and I want them to tell me everything that happened that day.
Yeah.
I want to know why they failed. I want to know what happened. Why Butler? Why was that such a failure that day? What was the reason? Why did he walk around for an hour without someone grabbing him?
Right.
Why?
These are fair questions, and she's not asking for a lot.
No, very fair questions. Yeah, can you imagine if that was your husband? I can't. I just can't. God bless her.
I know. It's unbearable.
It is.
And Secret Service should be like, you know what? You deserve a sit down. Yes, come talk to us. We will tell you everything that we know, because she deserves that.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that this is a thing.
And listening to her and like knowing her pain, there are still people on the left that'll be like, it didn't happen.
Right. So
seriously?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was. what was it? Like a bullet didn't actually hit him. It was like glass from the
from the teleprompter or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
like they'll act as if this didn't even happen. Well, he's gone. Her husband is gone. Their father is gone. So explain that.
Yeah. In that same interview with Lara Trump, she asked him what he wants his legacy to be, and here is what he said.
Looks back on this time in our country, when history looks back on you, how would you like to be remembered?
A good person, but a person that saved our country. I really believed our country was going down for the fall. I don't know if it ever could have come back. It was very close to the edge. And I really would like to be known as the man that saved our country.
I think he could be.
I think so too. I think he could be too.
I mean, I hope,
you know, people are not kind to him. I hope history is.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, Iran declared like the fatwa against him. They're basically looking for people to assassinate him. And there's apparently an Iranian linked website crowdfunding a hit on him with over $40 million raised to do it.
Oh my God.
So that's terrifying. And hopefully DOJ is looking into that. It doesn't seem like that should be allowed to be a website. You know what I mean? So
Project Constitution, is that, oh, that's who's reporting it. That's who's report. I was like, wait a second. What? Okay.
I guess the site is named after the Arabic word for revenge, but I don't know what that word is. So yeah, I mean, this is terrifying. Like it's incredible to me that he ever goes out into the world, just available.
But again, I think that goes back to, he was just changed in that moment. I think that he was like, well, you know, I'd survived this. There's a reason I survived it, and I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. And I believe that too. I honestly do. I believe that it was divine how he was saved from that bullet, and he's supposed to be where he's supposed to be.
Indeed. He is also continuing to make people absolutely crazy with tweets that maybe are just meant to troll. But I don't know that he needs to be spending his time tweeting about Rosie O'Donnell. This absolutely lit everyone up over the weekend because he tweeted, because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America.
She's pretty awful.
I mean, obviously he can't do that, but the fact that he said it made everybody lose their minds.
He's such a great troller. I mean, I love how he does this stuff just to freak people out.
Oh, it freaked him out. I mean, people were losing their minds. Like, this is it. This is the smoking gun. What more do you need to see that he's a dictator, that he's an authoritarian, that there's never going to be another election. Like, people were just off their rockers about it.
Calm your tits. I just can't. I just cannot. Okay.
Also, probably the biggest story from the weekend was all the drama surrounding Dan Bongino, because there were grumblings early in the weekend that he had taken Friday off following a clash at the White House with Pam Bondi over the handling of the Epstein files. This was initially reported by Laura Loomer, who does, despite how much I loathe her, does often have good scoops. Yeah,
she does. She does
have good scoops. So this, this obviously became like a really big deal, and people immediately pounced and were choosing their fighter. So, for example, Eric Doherty lots of people were immediately saying, if the decision is that the Trump administration loses either Dan Bongino or AG Pam Bondi, you got to keep Bongino.
Without question.
Without question. There's nothing wrong with Bondi's job performance in the day-to-day, defending Trump's policies in court, etc. The problem is, if the Epstein situation lowers morale and causes internal battles, that is just as important as the day-to-day. So if this can't be resolved, you go with Dan. Pam isn't a bad person. She isn't even a bad AG. But the horrific handling of expectations and the Epstein timeline is clearly doing some damage here.
Just fire her already.
He's not gonna. He's not gonna.
I just wish he would. He needs to, seriously, just fire her. You know what I mean? Get somebody else. And I don't think she's competent in that position either. I just don't. I think she's proven that she's She just screwed that up.
She screwed that up.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is really nice. I'm sure she is.
And she is good at the day-to-day. Like, she's done a lot of really good things. The problem is that she's completely destroyed her own credibility.
Right.
And so I don't know how she recovers from that, even as she continues to do good things elsewhere. There's just too many people that are too upset about this.
And you know what? The difference too here is that Bondi is, she's going to be in government. She's going to be working in government her whole life. Bongino doesn't have to do this.
Right.
He could be making millions doing his podcast again. You know what I mean? He was such a huge like media person. So he gave that up to do this. It's like, there's a difference between the two. I think that even just the way that they approach their jobs is probably so different just because of who they are as people and where they came from.
Totally.
I'm not saying she's bad, kind of like what Eric is saying. She's probably not a bad person. She's not bad altogether, but if there is a choice, it's clear what the choice is.
I mean, the rumors were flying fast and furious over the weekend. And then there was a Fox report saying, calm down, everybody, because some of the rumors started to fly that Cash was also thinking of leaving, that he and Bongino were going to leave because they were mad at Pam Bondi. But then there was this Fox report.
Mr. Bongino is thinking about his future with the FBI. We're told that both FBI Director Kash Patel and the Attorney General have every intention to stay and continue to serve.
And then Cash himself tweeted, "The conspiracy theories just aren't true, never have been. It's an honor to serve the President of the United States, and I'll continue to do so for as long as he calls on me." So that answered about Cash. I mean, I keep checking Dan Bongino's feed and haven't seen anything from him directly. But then there was the giant Trump tweet, which you're going to need to read, which just really...
I know.
You guys.
I know.
I didn't like it.
I know you did it.
Here it is.
What's going on with my boys? And in some cases, gals. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it, all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? They haven't even given up.
It's coming. Hang on.
Okay. They haven't even given up on the John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files, no matter how much success we have had securing the border, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. It's never enough for some people. We are about to achieve more in 6 months than any other administration has achieved in over 100 years. That's true. And we have so much more to do. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our complete priority. The left is imploding. Kash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen election of 2020, and arresting thugs and criminals instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left-inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she is looking into as AG and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, something that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. People care about it. That's the problem. People do care about it. And they do. I mean, he may not care. And if there is something that if you can show us that there's nothing to care about, prove it. Prove that there's nothing to care about. Like, that's the thing. That's all we want to see. That's what people want to see out here. And there are people in our comments that are like, I'm sick of this too. I just wish it would go away. Okay, that's fine. But some of us this was part of our mandate.
Mm-hmm.
And show me why I shouldn't be concerned about it. Because I think that there are client lists.
Pam Bondi and everybody else that is part of this team told us there were.
Right.
So now they can't just unravel that and then say, oh, nothing to see here without an explanation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense. Megyn Kelly tweeting, I'm sure it's a relief for Pam Bondi to hear the president is still in her corner. Unfortunately, huge swaths of the party are not.
Right.
She repeatedly misled on Epstein and then didn't have the courage to explain herself. Suddenly she's camera shy and no questions allowed. Good luck.
Yeah.
So,
this is, and something, I agree. Something just isn't, Fayroy said something isn't right. I agree. I feel like something isn't right. So make it right.
Make it right.
Make it right. Just make it right. That's all we're asking.
Answer the freaking questions.
Yeah, how hard is this?
It just makes it look so much shadier that they're now like, this is not a big deal. I don't know why everybody's making such a big deal out of it. Because you did.
Right.
You made a big deal out of it. That's why.
And it's
so you don't get to just undo that.
And there was a lot of talk about this during the election cycle. So now all of a sudden it's like, we're going to just put it to bed. No. And unlike the liberals, we hold people accountable for shit.
Exactly. This is like the first time that it's been really nice for me, because anytime I've ever criticized Trump, I get absolutely clobbered. But this is the time where now everybody is criticizing him and I'm finally not alone.
I know, right? But it's not even like criticizing him. I just think that he does want his staff to like get along. He wants everything to move forward. I don't think that he's like doing anything nefarious or malicious. I think he truly believes, he's like, there's better things to do, which I appreciate, because he does feel like there are better things to do.
I appreciate everything that he has done. And I would not change my vote. This doesn't change anything for the midterms for me.
Right.
But we can't not address the fact that this has been botched.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. So just deal with it. Like, deal with it, and then we can all move on, you know?
Right. Benny Johnson responded to his long tweet that you just read pretty much right when it was posted. And here are some of his thoughts.
Okay. So President Trump has acknowledged that the Epstein files exist here. President Trump has acknowledged that the files were written and that there is something there. He says that they were written, however, by his enemies and therefore will not be released. Whoa, what? That's new in this entire zeitgeist. This is something that is wildly interesting. And then he goes all in on supporting Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. No mention of Dan Bongino, where all of this, again, sort of transpired. By admitting that the Epstein files are real and have been written and that you've read them and you don't like their contents and they were written by your enemies, doesn't make the most compelling case as far as I'm concerned.
That's yeah.
Holy moly.
Well, that's even more reason to release them. If your enemies were the ones who created them, that's even like I'd be like, okay, let's jump all the sharks and go ahead and release them and like implicate all these jackholes that created them. Why would you do that?
I think the thing that makes me the maddest is that they're gaslighting us into making us think that we're crazy for ever bringing it up when they are the ones that kept bringing it up. And so here, just a flashback from last year, here is Donald Trump's own son.
How is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right?
We're wondering that too, Don.
Yeah.
We're wondering the same
It's almost like they're trying to protect those pedophiles for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
Yeah, like, why is this happening?
Right. 1 year later.
Right.
Here we are. It's weird. Really
Steve
weird.
Bannon is saying that the GOP could lose 35 to 40 House seats if they do not fully release the Epstein files. I don't know if that's true, but
there's a lot up for grabs. And people are, there may be like 2 or 3 people in our comments that are like, I don't care about this. A lot of people do, because they don't like being promised something and then not being delivered to, even if they've been given all these other things. They're like, wait a second, you told us you were going to do this thing and now you're lying to me. So now I don't trust you on all these other things. You just can't do, it's like a relationship. You know what I mean? You can't just do that to people. You can't be like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Oh no, I'm not going to do it. Really?
Right. And then worse, not only are you not going to do it, I'm going to make you feel crazy for even asking about it.
Right.
That makes it so much worse.
So absolute worst.
Megyn Kelly also says there's just really two possibilities here, and she describes them as follows. Number one, there's no huge undisclosed there on Epstein. Bondi misled on it until she didn't, and Trump is quick to forgive a loyal soldier for being desperate to get on TV, or there is a scandal that's being covered up, and it is at his direction. At least if it's number one, he could acknowledge that and just say, she really fucked this up, you guys.
Right. He could totally fix it. And then people are like, there are people here saying, oh my God, she doesn't deserve to be fired for one thing. Why not? Why not? In any other job, if you effed it up this bad, you would get fired.
That's true. And you know what? I don't even care if she's fired. All I care about is that she's accountable, which means getting in front of an interviewer, the press, whatever, and answering freaking questions and stop hiding. Because right now she's hiding, and that's not okay.
Right. Yeah.
She does great things. Listen, she might be doing a fine job on all kinds of other things.
I honestly, I think it's number one. I think it's totally number one. And I just think he just wants everybody to get along and he wants to move forward. He wants to focus on the good. That's what I think. But
I don't want this to impact the midterms or him, because he's doing such a phenomenal job on all of the other campaign promises. And this, to be fair, this wasn't an official agenda item of his. It's just something that his entire team talked about forever. But he has fulfilled so many of his promises. He's on track to fulfill more. And I am down. Like, I am all in. But this has to be corrected. This has to be made right.
It does for all of us, because I worry about the midterms. I worry there, everybody here that's listening to us right now, I think pretty much most of us, a giant percentage of us would still vote conservative/Republican. But there are a lot of people out there who see this and they're like, nope, I can't. I can't do that. I'm done. Right. And I worry about those people. It's already bad enough that it's going to be hard enough to get people to get off their couches and go vote.
Yeah.
But then if people are pissed off about this,
and they are. I mean, I don't think if there's people in here who don't believe that there's genuine outcry about this, here's a quick man on the street montage about how people are feeling about this issue.
I do not agree with the president.
I do not agree.
I actually do agree with the president.
Unfortunately, on this one, I don't think I agree with the president.
I kind of side with Bongino and Patel in this situation.
I do not agree with the president. I think that Pam has brought a secretive energy to the administration, and that it is not a good look for the president at all.
As much as I like the president, I do think that is a little bit of mistrust put into the people.
I think there's a lot of instances where the president should just keep his mouth closed and not give out such opinions.
She had come out in the past and said that they had thousands of videos they were just waiting to release. And then all of a sudden now they're saying, yeah, there's nothing.
I don't believe that Pam Bondi is being particularly effective in terms of her leadership and governance when it comes to the Epstein files.
The women and children who were victims of this entire scandal absolutely deserve the justice, and at the very least of the government making more of an effort to have these files released and give the public answers.
I trust the government as far as I can throw the government, and that's not pretty far.
They're right. I mean, him and tight dress girl were totally right.
Yeah, there's a lot of very dissatisfied people, and this is an easy fix. He just needs to not treat us like we're crazy
or children. We're not children.
Yeah, exactly. All that to say, he still maintains support, as you can see from Damani Felder. Does Trump disappoint me sometimes? Yes. Is it okay to say that? Yes. Is he better overall for the country than any radical leftist? Yes.
Yes.
Will my MAGA hat stay on? Yes. And that's absolutely right.
Without question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carmine Sabia saying similar things. You can support President Trump, be MAGA, and still demand the Epstein files. There is no human being who can tell me what to care about and what to move past, not the president or anyone, because that would be a cult.
Very true. Very, very true.
Scott Adams, very interesting perspective. This is what he said. He wrote, if you see the Epstein story as a crime story, which of course it is, you probably favor maximum disclosure of everyone and everything involved, including innocent people, like a typical court case. If you see the story as something bigger, involving more than one nation, you might see it as a commander-in-chief issue, meaning the public is not meant to have the full story, similar to most national defense issues. We elect a president to decide, in part, what the public can safely see. Would you favor full disclosure if you knew it would derail a peace negotiation? Would you favor full disclosure if you knew it would end Republican control of Congress and plunge the country back into a Democrat open border hellscape? If you can't say what you would give up to get the full disclosure you crave, you are not a serious person.
But I see it as a crime story. So there's the difference between me and he's giving us two scenarios. I do see it as a crime story. I see the victims. That's what I see. I'm a mother of girls. I see the victims. That's what I see.
But what if it is what he says is a much bigger world affecting issue?
Well, then I think where I would probably push back on Scott is that, he's been transparent with so many other things when it comes to world, when it comes to foreign policy and things like that. He's just been so transparent. So why not this?
Right. Especially when it was promised over and over.
Right.
An interesting twist on this, whoops, I went a little bit too far, is that today, July 14th, Monday, is the deadline for Pam Bondi's DOJ to respond to Ghislaine Maxwell's Supreme Court appeal. Apparently, this deadline has been extended a couple times already, but today is a new deadline for them to respond to her appeal. So that puts an interesting twist into the whole story. I don't know how they're going to respond to that, but it is interesting. Very interesting.
It is interesting indeed. Yeah. I guess we'll be talking about that tomorrow.
I guess so. We'll see what happens. And then Trump himself was asked about Bongino on the tarmac yesterday. And here's what he said.
I think so. I did. I spoke to him today. Dan Bongino, very good guy. I've known him a long time. I've done his show many, many times. And he sounded terrific, actually. No, I think he's in good shape.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't either. I don't know what that means either. He's in good shape. He sounded terrific. Okay.
So I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I don't know.
So I guess I still don't know what to make of Dan Bongino's taking the day off suddenly on Friday. I mean, honestly, like maybe you just had a doctor's appointment and everybody freaked out.
It could
or it could just be that, or it could be the rumors were true and he's mad and maybe he was thinking of leaving and they talked him off the ledge. I don't know.
He just needed a day. He needed a mental health afternoon.
Right. All right. Switching gears, we need to talk about how psycho, because as you know, Daisy and I have not been afraid to say that we are rather bigoted when it comes to the radical Islam religion.
Yeah.
Those people are freaking whack.
I think we're like the last remaining conservatives that aren't afraid to do that. Or we're like, you know what I mean? Everybody else is, so many people that are on our side are just, they're not that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but there are some religions that are better than others. And Islam is low on the list of good religions. They just are.
Again,
I'm psychotic.
I'm a mother of girls. So again, with that whole thing. Yeah.
Right. And wouldn't you know it, one of the biggest defenders and supporters of Zohran Mamdani is Linda Sarsour. Remember Linda from
gosh, yes. We've been talking about her forever.
I
thought she had gone away. She's still around doing things. Like
she's doing things and saying things and being things.
She is.
Her latest diatribe was to talk about how happy she would be to become a martyr.
Oh. Honored to die a martyr. In Islam, we believe that when we are born, the day that we die is already decreed. So the opposition don't got power over my last day. So why, if I know that my day is gonna come regardless, I'm not afraid of nobody taking me out. In fact, I would be honored to die a martyr.
What is her accent? What is that?
It's like, I don't know. I mean, she's obviously from New York, I think.
Right. What is that accent?
Or like, also she's like Bronxy, but also kind of black.
I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, I don't know what, it was weird coming out of her face though, like listening to that. She didn't used to sound like that.
She used to actually have correct grammar.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And now she just doesn't. She just doesn't care. Okay. She don't care, as she says. She's just awful. And speaking of Mamdani, Chris Murphy, one of the most ridiculous senators on the planet, is telling his fellow Democrats that they need to be a big tent. He says it's weird that a big tent Democrat party wouldn't include the guy who just handily won the Democratic primary in the city with the most Democratic voters in America. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's weird at all that he wants his big tent to include commies who want to globalize the Intifada.
That's right.
I think that seems just exactly what I would expect of Chris Murphy.
Totally tracks.
Totally tracks.
Yeah.
And then some idiot was trying to say that Chris Murphy is underappreciated, and Chris Murphy retweeted it and said, "Hard agree."
God, what a douche canoe.
Right? Just the worst.
I'm
oh my God.
So underappreciated.
Love
me. Love me.
He's so ridiculous.
Loser.
Also, there was a lot of controversy swirling around the TPUSA event this weekend, largely because of Tucker's appearance on it. There was also a really feisty debate between Josh Hammer and Dave Smith. And lots of people are mad at Charlie Kirk right now for platforming some of these very anti-Israel folks. And we'll get into that. But before we do, I wanted to play one really good moment that happened at the TPUSA event, which was when an Iranian talked about his gratitude towards America. His name is Ridvan Aydemir, and here is a little bit of what he said.
I was raised in an Islamic environment. I was raised in a religious Muslim family, and I am what you would call an ex-Muslim. I was raised with the idea that I should be loyal only to Islam as a religion. I was raised with animosity, with hostility toward the West. I was raised as an enemy of the United States of America. Today, I am standing here with a huge American flag right in front of me, and I proudly and happily call myself an American.
God bless him.
Right? Right?
Yeah, God bless him. I bet his parents are pissed.
Remember when I made you watch Not Without My Daughter when we were in that hotel in DC?
God. Yes.
You guys have never seen that.
It just enrages me. That movie just, oh God. Yeah. It just gives me the rage.
It does. It's just, you got to see it. It's a great movie. It's old. It's like from the 90s. Sally Field is in it.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. And it's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. Uh-huh. All right. So on to Tucker. Tucker. How do I describe Tucker right now?
Here we go. I can't wait to hear this.
You guys, he's cuckoo right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He is, listen, it's one thing for us to be mad at Trump for the Epstein thing, right? We also appreciate that he's been in office for 6 months, and the amount of amazing shit that he's gotten done is like, holy crap, right?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Remarkable. Right.
It sounds to me in this clip of Tucker that he is dissatisfied with this first 6 months. Like it's just not good enough for him.
Really?
And I just don't
agree.
Listen, we've got problems. Agree. I don't know that. Why is he trying to? I feel like it's the left's job to constantly denigrate America and point out our flaws and constantly say how much we suck.
And beat up on Trump?
Yeah, I don't expect that from our own side. Mm-hmm. And yet
Give people what they actually want long enough, and instead substitute things that you claim they should want, like bombing Iran.
Oh my God.
You know, I mean, I'm not for Iran, where you spend all day telling me that it's so important that, you know, boys not playing girls' soccer teams, whatever. I agree. I hate the tranny stuff passionately. I think you should keep the boys off girls' soccer teams. But I don't know. It kind of feels like you're feeding me appetizers. At some point, I want to look around and see a better country. I want to see a country I recognize. I don't want to see people sleeping on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
I don't want to see people ODing on drugs. I want to know where those drugs coming from. Why can't you stop it? You've got the U.S. military. Don't you have SEAL Team 6? Like, what are they doing today? Don't you have Delta Force? You could give me another segment about how impressive the U.S. military is? I believe you. Why aren't they employed to make my country better? Why are my cities disgusting? I don't want to go there. It smells like weed and halal food. And you're lecturing me about how it's a great moral victory that I kicked the boys off the girls' soccer team? Good, I'm so glad. But let's do the real stuff, like making New York livable.
Why is he screaming? He never screams like that. Why is he being like that?
I don't know. Weird. I don't know what's going on with him.
It's really,
it's like
really
menopause.
Weird. It is menopause. I think he's going through menopause too. Yeah, it's really, wow. It's like he's having a hot flash and he's freaking and he's like, I need a fan. I need a fan.
And Dave Rubin, I thought, called it out correctly. He said Trump is doing all of these things to the best of his ability. You can't do everything at once. And he had to dig us out of a hell of a hole. Tucker exists now only to split the right and help the left. And it feels like that to me.
It is really, really weird. It's a little sketch. Like, listen, 6 months. He said 6 months.
Right.
With all the getting all the illegals out of here is like the first step. He's like, it smells like weed and halal food.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that bothers you, if that bothers you, he's doing the best he can to get all of the illegals out of here. I feel like that, and just the border being closed and having zero come in, that's a win. To me, that's like the first win. Okay, I live in Texas. To me, that's a win. I don't know where Tucker lives. I'm assuming that he lives in New England somewhere, like in
I think he's in Maine.
Right. It's maybe it's a little different up there, but here the bleeding has stopped. Like there's a tourniquet and now we're starting to heal a little bit. It's going to take more than 6 months. It is
like,
win.
Can you cut him a little bit of a break on some of this? No, SEAL Team 6 cannot get rid of the halal smell. Okay. I mean, just some of the stuff that he's saying.
That's not their job.
Right. It's so unnecessarily lefty to criticize the country to that degree when Trump is doing so much of what he promised to do. It just takes some time.
Well,
I don't get what he's doing.
Dare I say that sometimes I wonder, is it just because there's just such a hatred for Israel? You know, like a lot of these people are just on this kick of, I hate Israel so much. Okay, well, do you hate Israel more than you love America at this point? Because can we just think about America for a second and what's happening here? And things are getting better. What's the alternative, Tucker? Would it have been better if Biden was, if Kamala was president? Would it be better? Do you think it'd be better? Because nothing would be better. I assure you, I am 150% positive that nothing would be better. Everything would be way worse.
Yeah, I don't know why we need this on our side right now. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that.
I don't
Ian Hayworth also making similar criticism. He says, you're not a serious person if you think Tucker Carlson, who was harder on Ted Cruz than the president of the country that has a hit out on the president of the United States, Iran, is America first. Tucker Carlson isn't just Tucker first. He is Tucker only.
It's a great
point. And then he went on this other rant about Bill Ackman, who also happens to be Jewish. I'm sure that's unrelated, but Tucker is super mad that Bill Ackman is a billionaire. Bill Ackman responded on Twitter with an entire life story of how he made his billions, all completely legit. The fact that Tucker, and he says it himself, he's like, oh, I'll be called a socialist, and with a crazy laugh. He does. He sounds bitter and angry and weird about this guy having money. And why is he picking on him? It's because it's related to Israel.
Well,
this rant, I was just like, what are you even doing?
At some point you made enough money? Yeah. What is that?
What is this?
Particularly galling in the case of Jeffrey Epstein and the whole constellation of people around Jeffrey Epstein, all of whom seem to be getting away with scams. And how do you know they're getting away with scams? I'll tell you how, because they're useless and they're rich. So how do you come to a place where some of the least impressive, most useless people who have no actual skills become billionaires? How's that legitimate? And by the way, if you ask this question, at least in Washington, it's like, oh, well, yeah, it sounds like you're a socialist. Sounds like socialism. Yeah, okay, I'm a socialist now. All right. I was a Qatari agent or a bigot. Now I'm a socialist. All right. Leaving aside my committed socialism, can you answer the question? How did Bill Ackman get $9 billion? Bill Ackman, a pretty impressive guy. I know Bill Ackman. No. Bill Ackman's like well-connected and super aggressive. That's it. And I think, well-connected, super aggressive people deserve a fair living like everybody else. But if you're accruing $9 million just because you're willing to do anything.
Oh my God.
I don't know why we have to pretend that's good.
You guys, listen.
What is happening?
It's like when you start questioning, Kylie Jenner is a billionaire. Okay. Like, what is she? Some sort of brilliant, like, Mensa candidate? No, she's not. She's a freaking moron. Okay. Who basically shows her goods. She's a billionaire. Am I happy that she's a billionaire? I mean, I look at her and I'm like, God, I can't believe she's a billionaire. She's a billionaire at like 19 years old for being Kylie Jenner. You know what I mean?
But it's legitimate.
But
it's legitimately earned.
This is what happens in America. That's what makes America awesome. If you want to go out there and be a billionaire, go do whatever you got to do to be a billionaire. I love that. I think that's great. We shouldn't be demonizing that.
Especially on the right. Like that's what floored me. Is like anybody on the left could have easily just given that same exact speech. What are we doing? It's just bizarre. Speaking of Tucker, he had on George Santos, who I thought was already in jail, but yet I guess it's later this month that he goes to jail. He cannot stop tweeting and showing up on TV shows. And so he was on with Tucker because of course, Tucker would platform George Santos. I mean, of course, right? Mm-hmm. And he is scared, legitimately scared that he may not ever come out of jail alive. Here he is.
About it. I mean, looking at this long stretch.
Tucker, can I be honest with you?
You will.
I don't know that I survive it. They're putting me in a violent prison. It's a medium facility. I'm not a streetwise guy. I don't know how to fight. I'm a gay man. Statistics tell you what happens to gay men in prison. I don't know that I survive this. I'm being honest. I mean, I can't change that. It's sad. I have a family. Are you serious? I'm genuinely serious. People think I'm exaggerating when I say this. I've never had to fight a day in my life. I grew up in a very sheltered life, apartment kid in New York City. I don't have wilderness. I mean, my experience in wilderness, let's call it, I like skiing, but it's just not me. I'm not that guy. I don't know that I survived this. I mean, this could be very much my last interview, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic here. I'm just being honest with you. I look at this as practically a death sentence to what could occur to me. And we've seen this. It's not like I'm saying something out of the ordinary. I'm not built for this.
I actually don't begrudge him for saying those things. At least he's honest.
No,
he's honest. He's like,
legit scared.
Right. I'm not street smart. I'm completely coddled. I'm a baby. I'm a gay man that, listen, not all gay men are like that. But he's like, I'm a gay dude that's going to like go into prison and I don't know how to fight. And you can tell he doesn't. He's kind of weak.
He's soft. He's very,
very soft. And so, I mean, at least he's self-reflective. He's self-aware.
Yeah. I don't know if he's self-aware enough, though, about actually feeling any kind of remorse about all the horrible, rotten things that he did.
No.
He swindled people out of a lot of money.
Totally.
He lied about a lot of things. He stole. I mean, he's a garbage person.
He's a garbage person, but so is Nancy Pelosi, Ma.
Totally.
And
totally.
so is,
and I think his sentence is entirely too long.
I mean, exactly. So, I mean, I look at his case and I think, okay, he's a garbage person, but there are so many garbage people that are walking around eating $14 ice cream from their $24,000 fridges. You know what I mean? That we paid for. So, and it's all because of insider trading. I mean, I just had a conversation with my daughter about this the other day. We were talking about stocks. So she's super interested in stocks. And I'm like, you just got to follow Nancy Pelosi. Who's that? I'll tell you. It's like, what? Why? Because they get to cheat. Why do they get to cheat? Well, because they're above the law, honey. That's how it works. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, this is the thing. So there are a lot of garbage people, but at least he's a tiny bit self-aware. I guess we'll see what happens to him.
Yeah. So I don't know when he's going to jail. Because remember, like it was last week where I thought that was his last tweet before jail was him saying, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not suicidal and all that stuff. And then he's been tweeting ever since. So I don't know when he's going. I think it's sometime this month.
Yeah.
Last week we made a lot of fun of Gavin Newsom and all of the hand dancing. Remember?
Right.
Like a lot of hand dancing.
A lot of hand dancing.
And Superfan Sid made like an actual hand jive video that we posted on our Twitter account. You should see it if you haven't yet. But apparently I was unaware of this. Gavin Newsom did the Sean Ryan podcast and also not only hand dances, but hand pianos. Like he also does this when it's completely uncalled for. Here is an example.
State can come in and basically take your kid if you're against gender affirming care.
There's some nuanced language and around that.
What the hell? Some nuanced language.
What is wrong with that man?
I'm gonna take your kid. Is twinkling the ivories. Ooh. What a weirdo.
So freaking weirdo.
God, he's weird.
Yeah, he's super weird. Also, we mentioned last week the Superman movie and how the director, what was it? His brother was coming out and saying, he's an immigrant, Superman's an immigrant, whatever.
Super woke. Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people have seen it and have enjoyed it. And now James Gunn, who is the actual director, has filed like $1 billion lawsuit against Donald Trump because of this picture. So,
oh my God.
For real. It is a $1 billion lawsuit saying that they had unauthorized use, the White House and Donald Trump, of the Superman poster because it portrayed Donald Trump as a superhero and that damaged their brand, they say.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it really damaged your brand. Dude, like this, what is this? Like the 18th Superman movie?
I know.
Maybe you should be more original, James Gunn.
It's a freaking meme. Are we really doing seriously? Are we like making memes, copyright issues now? Can we just not?
$1 billion. These people are so TDS ridden, butthurt. His brother is like the worst. But this guy, wasn't this guy like, isn't he like the pedophilia guy? Isn't he? Isn't he the guy that? Yeah, there was some, isn't he? You guys will have to like correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he the guy that there were some things that he tweeted about like little kids that were not okay? I
don't know.
Yeah, you can go down the rabbit hole. I think he's just weird. The whole, like he and his brother need to probably not. Just don't.
Anyway, that's happening. Also, a couple lesbians went to a bookstore and checked out some of the books available in the store for itty bitty kids and were absolutely horrified. Keep in mind, they are lesbians. And even they were like, this is
not okay.
Jumping. Yeah, this is jumping so many sharks. Here they are.
Okay, we're gay, but we're in Barnes & Noble's. And there's a kids book section, a gay kids book section, and this shit is crazy. Look at this. Okay, there's the gay BCs, right? Bye Bye Binary. Bye Bye Binary with a mohawk on a baby. Gay BCs.
God.
You're not ready. You hold this. Okay.
You're not ready.
What? A is for arrow and ace. B is for bi. This is crazy. We're gay, but this is crazy. What?
Yeah.
For baby?
Oh my God.
Okay, E is for equality. We'll take that. F is for family. Okay, we're getting better. Okay, why did it start so crazy?
Just for hope.
It got better.
No.
I is for intersex.
No.
It's pushing
my
it.
God.
For a baby, this is pushing it.
Of course it is.
It's totally
it is.
A mohawk on a baby.
Intersex? You're going to teach the word intersex to an infant?
Right.
What is even happening?
Liberals are happening.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of liberals, I think it was you sent this clip of some absolute psycho. They are literally insane and utterly unfamiliar with how that world app actually operates. Case in point.
Oh, MAGA, don't you understand? If we have another civil war, all the blue states will control all the fresh water. You guys don't think this shit through, do you?
Okay.
We don't think this shit through.
Yeah. She's threatening our water supply. That crazy bitch is threatening our water supply. But listen, they're fine. They're fine, you guys. They're doing okay over there. They're doing fine.
It's fine. Cuckoo is right, but I'm happy to report that there is hope, and lots of these you can watch walkaway stories all day long. This one caught my eye. I just liked it, and I thought I would share, especially after showing you that last one. So here she is.
Undercover, by the way, if you have like a family member or a child or something that's really far gone, there's still hope. Because I used to be, for lack of a better term, crazy. Like everything you see them crying, screaming, whining about now, like basically saying like America's the worst country in the world and abolish ICE and all of this lunacy that you're seeing now, that was me. Anybody that I didn't agree with or that was on the right was automatically racist, homophobic, a bigot, a fascist, xenophobic, whatever, you name it. I called them the name. I cut off family members, which I have since repaired those relationships and apologized and realized and righted my wrongs. But the point is, there's always hope that one day they'll wake up. I did.
I wonder why.
And now, like, everyone right now they're toting that 4th of July is canceled. I will be on the beach for the 4th of July with my American flag tent with hot dogs blasting Toby Keith, loving America and celebrating. And I've become immune to any of the hate from the liberals because I was them at one point and I was absolutely miserable and hated every second of my life while I was in that mindset. So I don't really give it much thought or much credit because, you know, whatever. You do you and I do me.
And I wonder if that's what it was. If she just got so sick and tired of being sick and tired and miserable.
Yeah.
If that's what it was. And she was just like, okay, I'm done. But I wonder that's the thing I was waiting to hear was what the turning point was.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people that are so miserable.
I mean, maybe it was the whole Biden cover-up thing. It could have been like she might have just seen what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know what
it's like
what it's going to take.
Our friend Xavier, you know, that's over it's over Prager. Yeah. And he was a liberal. And so his story is kind of like that too, where it's just like he started doing more research about like trying to argue with conservatives. And he was like, and then I started realizing that I couldn't, you know, because these things were all very wrong. And so that's why it's just always interesting to see what people's journey is.
It's nice to feel like there could be some hope. So if you have a person in your life that you're like, man, that person's far gone, there is always hope.
There's hope.
All right, let's get to some My Pillow Talks. This one you sent me, which I absolutely loved, about God making celery.
But if the water was hard and crunchy and made out of hair? I'm sorry, what? The water No. Why not? No, we can make it out of hair and make it crunchy. That don't sound good. We can make crunchy water out of hair. I just want the water to be worse. There's already I want it to be harder to get the water. There's already so you gotta chew it, but it's not cold like ice. I want it to be just like room temperature green water that's stringy. And what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? No, I don't get what you don't get. It's dental floss water. Ew. No, give the water photosynthesis and then we serve it with buffalo wing.
That's right.
We serve the water with buffalo wing and carrot.
Oh, I love that.
Why though? I don't know why we serve it with buffalo wing and carrot, but we do. We serve it with buffalo wing and carrot. And no one eat the carrot. And no one eat the green stick hard water. No one like it, but it's good, and then we give it with the buffalo wing. Good. What?
The photosynthesis water. That's what it is. That's so great.
It's just crunchy, wet hair. That's what it is.
Like, why? There's so many questions for God, you know? There's going to be a lot of questions for God.
So many questions. And one of them should be why cats are so into concrete slabs. Because this is a new trend that is all over social media right now, that instead of buying fancy cat toys, you need either a box, an empty box. Cats love empty boxes. Or they apparently love squares of just plain $1.79 concrete that you can get from Lowe's. So everybody with cats on social media is trying this. And here's what's happening. They love it.
Oh my God. That's
they
so
all
funny.
Love it.
Why did they love it
I don't
so
know.
much? He's like, I can't move it. I'm going to chew on it. Unbelievable.
I don't understand it, but it's without exception. The cats are loving this.
Jillian's getting one today. She's getting one today for her cat.
Yeah, you
go,
should.
girl. Yep.
You
That's
should.
so funny.
So anyway, that's happening. And then also, did you know that when rescue organizations or whatever raise or take care of baby bats, because you know I love a baby bat.
Yes.
Sky puppies.
So
they
cute.
have baby bat pacifiers.
They do not.
I swear to God, they do, you guys.
Get out. Oh my God. Look at that sweet little nugget.
Is that not the cutest thing you ever
They
saw?
They really are precious, aren't they? People are so afraid of bats, but they're so cute.
I know. I love that. I just love that so much. Also, coolest thing ever. If you've ever been whale watching, because we saw a couple whales off of a dinner cruise that we did in Hawaii years and years ago, which was really, really neat. But it was nothing like this moment. This is a once in a lifetime moment. Absolutely incredible. Check it out.
Right freaking here. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I can't believe this.
That is unbelievable.
Right?
That looks like it's Alaska. It looks
extraordinary.
Oh my God.
I mean, just like, could you imagine seeing that in actual real life?
That's nuts.
I know. Just absolutely incredible. Also, and lastly, this is the coolest thing ever. So there's a lady that takes care of elephants. I'm not sure where she is. Doesn't matter. And she is explaining to her audience how they help her get onto them to ride them, right? So when she's sitting on top of an elephant, how does that actually work? And there's 3 different ways that she can get onto the top of an elephant, and she describes them. And it's just amazing, the cooperation that she gets. Elephants are just so cool. Just watch.
They are. I love that.
So I get a lot of comments of people asking me, how did I get on her on the videos where I'm riding her? Well, I'm going to show you guys 3 mounts, starting from easiest to the hardest mount. And I want to make sure you guys know that I am a trained professional. So don't try this at home. So we're going to start with the easiest mount, and that's by her trunk. She is going to pick me up with her trunk. So let's back up for a second.
Wow.
She's going to head down. Head down. Good girl. I'm going to wrap my leg here, and she's going to lift me up. Woo! Then from here, I'm going to climb up over her head.
Oh my God.
And then I'll be on her back, just like this. Let's remember we have to give her a cookie because she did a good job. Hang on, babe.
She's waiting for it.
I'm coming with the cookies.
She's like, come on, Mom.
And then I give her her cookie in her trunk. She's going to eat it right there. Good girl.
Oh
okay, now we're going to do a more advanced way to get on an elephant. You have to be a little bit more practiced in this one because she can definitely throw you right over her back. So we're going to back up right here. Right from here, I am going to ask her to give me her foot. She's going to throw me on her back. So we're going to head down. Head down. Good girl. Give me this foot. Now pay attention to me. You got to throw me hard. Pay attention. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. All right. Foot. All right.
Wow.
Again, good mount. And then I'm going to give her
my
a cookie because she did a great job. Back up.
Is that not the coolest thing?
Hold it
Yeah,
right there. Good
it
girl.
really is cool.
Oh, good girl. And then this way to get on an elephant is the most advanced way. And I'm going to show you. What you do is you're going to slide your foot through her ear. She's moving her ear for me right here. And then you're going to say, all right. Hold on tight, you guys.
Oh my God.
Good girl.
Unbelievable.
Yes, back up.
Freaking cool.
So
Good
cool.
job. Steady. Good girl.
Give her a cookie. Oh,
See?
I like the cookies,
The best
lady.
in the whole world, she is. All right, move up and foot. And then
How do you get down?
She's showing you.
She's going to give me her foot. I'm going to slide down her face. Hold, hold. She's going to let me walk down her foot. And then we're
I mean,
yes.
She could crush her.
I know.
And those are 3 easy ways to mount an elephant. But remember, don't try this at home.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to be.
Not going to be doing that.
No, I'm not going to be trying that at home.
But so cool, right?
It's so cool. Yeah.
Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Very, very good talks.
I do
Yeah.
not. No, I do not have any thank yous to dole out today, so it's all you.
Okay, Aaron Krieger. Tom Homan is such a badass that it makes me question my sexuality. Take my gay money. Aaron, I love it so much. It's so great. MT, new subby, would love to hear thoughts on Tucker's TPUSA subversion. He's trying to undermine Trump, but people don't see it. Omid Malik puppet. I don't understand what's.
Did she say that? But I think
it was at 7:25 a.m. It was
okay.
Yeah, it was like an hour, more than an hour ago. Yeah, so it was before we talked about it. MT Ridvan, love him. Yes, his parents disowned him, but it's okay. He's now a child of Christ. Yes.
Did they really disown him? Oh my
I feel like that's the thing. I mean, I feel like that's just unacceptable when you are raised like that and you're raised to hate America. Yeah. I feel like they're going to probably disown him. But you're right. He is a child of Christ. So that's.
And welcome. Thank you for subbing, MT. We're glad to have you.
Yep. MT again, Tucker's Iranian founder, Omid Malik hates Israel. I think there's a lot of people on our side right now that hate Israel, and it's just really weird to me. It's very, very bizarre. Arnurm, George Santos. Can I be honest with you? Tucker Carlson, why change now? Bo Mama 8. Are we sure that it's Tucker? Close your eye and listen. It's not Tucker. It's Foggy Bear.
He was very screamy.
So mad. I don't think I've ever seen him scream like that. That's why I was very taken aback by that clip.
Yeah.
MT, it's a dog whistle. Jews, money, interest rates. Omid Malik, Iranian. The main founder of his show is a billionaire. The Qataris are billionaires. Yeah. Billionaires are bad unless they're the billionaires you like. Right?
Right, exactly.
Right. Team Media and Publishing. Cats are freaks. Ours will only drink water out of a Nalgene bottle.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. I don't know what a Nalgene bottle is. That's so interesting, though. Very they're diva-ish, aren't they?
Very.
Speaking of divas, Bear would not go outside this morning to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna.
Is it because of the rain?
He hates the rain, you guys. He talk about a diva. He's like, I can't.
So what's he gonna like? Doesn't he have to go?
Yeah, eventually he's gonna have to because he can't go in the house. So I'm like, dude, you gotta go outside and go. So I've tried like 14 times this morning.
You're gonna have to take an umbrella out with you.
I mean, he just is a diva when it comes to going outside. So we'll see what happens with him. The other dogs are like, woo, and they're out there partying.
Maybe you can get him a little raincoat.
That would be cute. I may have to do that. Or like just a little umbrella that goes over his head or something. Yeah. God bless him. He's so spoiled. So, all right, we're bringing it in. Everybody bringing it in. Everybody have a fantastic Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.